Welcome to the Love Purpose Connection podcast. These podcasts are little nuggets of healing to support you wherever you are on your journey back home to yourself. I'm Estelle Bingham, healer, therapist, and I'm also known as the Heart Whisperer. And today we're talking about something that's both deeply personal and profoundly healing: meeting your shadow. Now, I know the idea of the shadow can feel a little bit mysterious, even a little bit unsettling, but really it's just the parts of ourselves we've been taught to hide, and the parts we were told were too much or not enough. The emotions we pushed down, the truths we ignored, the pieces of ourselves that never got the love they needed are all part of our shadow. But here's the beautiful thing. Those parts are not lost. They're just waiting to be seen. And when we finally turn towards them with love instead of fear, something truly incredible happens. Before we begin, I want to remind you that when you pre-order my book, Manifest Your True Essence, you'll receive a free ticket to my exclusive virtual masterclass, Manifest Your True Essence, 5 Ways to Unblock Your Heart. This event is all about reconnecting with yourself, clearing old wounds, and stepping into your true essence through the power of your heart. Learn more at estellebingham.com. But now, back to the shadow. Bring both of your hands into your mystic heart and take a deep breath with me. A deep inhale. You can breathe in for 3, hold for 3, and exhale for 3. Really allow that inhale, exhale to really settle in the body. And we can take a few of those heart-embodied breaths. Know that you are safe here, that you are seen, and that you are heard. So let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about the shadow. If you've ever found yourself reacting to something and wondering, why did that trigger me so much? Chances are your shadow was speaking to you. Maybe you've always struggled to express your anger because growing up, you were told to be nice and not make a fuss. Maybe you were shamed for crying, and now you struggle to be vulnerable, even with those closest to you. Maybe you learned that being loud, bold, or emotional made other people uncomfortable. So you learned to shrink yourself down and dim your light. The thing is, these parts of us don't just disappear. When we ignore them, they find other ways to show up in our lives, either through self-doubt, through people-pleasing, through anxiety, through patterns that repeat over and over again in our relationships. What would happen if instead of pushing these parts of us away, we actually welcome them home? I want to share a really special story with you from my book, Manifest Your True Essence, about Ashley. Ashley had spent his whole life in his head, logical, practical, and always in control. He prided himself on his ability to keep moving forward, to handle things, to never let emotions get in the way. But underneath all of that, there was something else. A part of him he had buried long ago. Ashley's father left when he was 2 years old, and by the time he was 5, his mother had very sadly passed away. He was raised by relatives who never spoke about the loss. They really didn't know how to comfort a grieving little boy because they simply didn't have the tools. So Ashley did what many of us do. He shut it all down. He became independent and self-reliant. He really thought he'd moved on, but deep inside, the little boy who'd lost so much was still there. And the grief he had was never able to express itself in his adult life. And so as an adult, he constantly felt unseen, unheard, and frustrated when people didn't notice him. He was either distant or overwhelmed. And no matter how much he achieved, he never quite felt enough. It wasn't until Ashley came on a healing retreat and was guided back into his emotional heart that he finally met his shadow. On that retreat, he allowed himself for the first time to say, "Of course I'm sad. Of course I miss my mum. Of course I needed love and I didn't get it." And in that moment, something profound shifted. Instead of resisting his pain, he allowed himself to feel it. And instead of pushing his shadow away, he began to embrace it. And in doing so, he found a kind of freedom he had never known. Here's a quote I'd like to share from my book. "True healing begins when we stop running from the parts of ourselves we don't want to see, and instead turn towards them with love." Now I'd like to take you through a short visualization to help you connect with your own shadow in a very gentle and loving way. If you're in a place where you can, close your eyes for a moment and bring both hands into your mystic heart in the middle of your chest. Take a deep breath here for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Now imagine yourself standing in front of a mirror. As you look at your reflection, notice if there's any tension, any resistance. Now, slowly see another version of yourself appearing beside you. This is your shadow. This is the part of you that's been hidden, waiting to be acknowledged by you. Look at them with love. What do they look like? What emotions do they carry? Are they sad? Are they angry? Are they afraid? Very slowly reach out your hand and say, "I see you. I am ready to listen to you. You are safe with me." Feel the warmth between you, the relief of finally being witnessed. Let your shadow know right now that they are not something to be feared or rejected, that they are part of you and they are worthy of love. When you're ready, take a deep breath. Gently open your eyes and bring this sense of connection with you into the present moment. Now I want you to take a few minutes to journal. What emotions came up during the visualization? And what does your shadow self want to say to you? What is one thing that you've suppressed that you're now ready to really acknowledge? How can you begin integrating your shadow with love? Writing is a powerful tool for healing. Let your words flow without judgment. Shadow work is not about fixing yourself. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about bringing light to the places that have been hidden for too long. And when you do this, you don't just heal, you become more whole, more alive, and more free. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to pre-order my book, Manifest Your True Essence. When you do, you will receive a free ticket to my exclusive virtual masterclass, Manifest Your True Essence, 5 Ways to Unblock Your Heart. This event will provide you with powerful tools to heal, grow, and reclaim your true essence. Learn more at estelbingham.com. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Love Purpose Connection podcast. I really appreciate you. Be gentle with yourself, and I'll see you next time for more love, purpose, and connection.